Just coolin', yeah, just coolin', yeah.
Who was just playing Levert?
That was me.
You know, you remind me of whenever I hear Casanova, I think of you.
Is that right?
For some reason, you be in my mind dancing when that song come on every time. How you know?
I don't know if I've ever danced that song.
Casanova? Well, it's not really a ditty you dance to. It's kind of you just groove to in your headphones.
It's definitely a groove. I just listened to that before that came up. Before that song.
It's a very fun song, but you don't really feel like dancing when you hear it. How are you, Rodney?
I am awesome.
I love your coordination. Comedy Squares, is that your thing?
No, my agent was trying to pitch this little project, and so I was a part of it for him. But yeah, that's not mine.
Oh,
it was cool though. They did it like via Zoom and brought a bunch of comics in, and we played it like Hollywood Squares, but it was way lesser known people.
There are so many versions of these TV shows where they want you to be in squares and all that kind of stuff. It's like, how many of these are we going to do?
People like old TV.
Okay, they wanted to come on back. Dean was just here. What happened to Dean?
He may have had to come back, go and come back.
So we'll start. How long have you been married?
I've been married 24 years.
Ooh, you are the winner.
Am I?
I knew you'd be the longest. Dean, I think you. It's you. It's Jay Phillip. It's either you or Dean. I don't know. Did Dean?
I think Dean's been married for quite some time. Yeah.
Okay, longer than you?
Not longer than me.
So it's you, Dean, Jay, Finesse, and Ty. That's the order of married years.
Yeah, I don't think none of them got 2 decades. Though. I don't think nobody got 2 decades.
Wow.
I mean, not that I'm bragging. It's just what it is.
You can brag about having the same woman for 2 decades. That's great.
Is it?
Yes. That's yeah.
I mean, you just always feel like it could fall apart. You like when you talk too much about it, it could fall apart.
One of the funniest things you would say, you're like, Jackie, but when I get my new family,
what's on?
You're like, if this marriage don't work out, my new wife and all my extra new kids, I have another chance.
I mean, you have to think about that on some level.
You do not have to. You
I mean, have to? It makes you respect the situation you're in. It makes you respect your wife and your family. You know, you have to consider if they weren't there. You know what I mean?
Okay.
On some level, and like I tell you how I stay married is that I can find something wrong with the best looking woman.
Oh yeah.
I can look and be like, I bet she's a nut. I bet her feet are like crusty. I bet, you know, I mean, you don't stop being attracted to other people, but
stop looking for it.
As you get older, you definitely stop looking for it. You stop hunting. You stop hunting.
Yeah. What makes it, I love what you said. Forget the physical, because we could all find problems with that. What triggers it in your head to make you think she's a nut? I can tell she's going to be a nut.
I mean, my wife's a nut, you know, so.
But she's a nut that you could live with.
She's a nut that I know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to meet a new nut. You know, that I don't know her baggage. I don't know what she's been through. I don't know her parents. I don't know her background. So that makes a difference to me, you know, especially, you know, after you've been through some real life stuff and y'all been there for each other, you know, whether that's, you know, me going through a stroke or getting the COVID. I mean, my wife has been tough stuff. So it's really, at some point, we're just not only in love but in respect of each other.
And you be putting her through it. You had a stroke, you had COVID. I mean, your wife is like, this nigga is testing my resiliency in this relationship.
I mean, and to be honest, while I was in it, I wasn't thinking about nothing but getting well. Yeah. And so I didn't even realize till I got back home that how taxing it was for my family. And so, you know, my children, we really didn't tell them. And so they found out on social media.
That what? You had COVID?
That I had a stroke.
Stroke?
Yeah.
Why did they find out on social media?
Because we chose not to tell them.
Wouldn't they notice you ain't home?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm always gone.
What?
I could be working on a movie. It could be anything.
That is some slick, that's fascinating.
Ty Barnett.
What up, bro? How you feeling, man?
I'm great, man.
Good to hear, man. I haven't gotten a chance to talk to you in person, but, you know, I've been following everything with you and making sure that you're okay, and I'm glad to see you in good spirits, bro.
That's I'm a huge fan, Ty, man. I've been watching you smash stages for many years.
Hey, I don't know if Jackie knows this. I don't know, but Jackie, you know, Rodney actually gave me my very first stage time. I don't even know if you remember this.
I don't know that.
My very
at
first
the Union?
Nah, out by the airport, the Hollywood.
Oh, the casino.
Casino, yep.
Wow.
You get one of my first spots out here, man. And every time I drive past there, I'm like, I always point it out, I was like, that's one of the first spots I ever did comedy in LA. So
you know, they done knocked it down and it's a whole new structure now. And that room is the place for the single biggest growth in my career. If you started at one point and by the time I left there, I was a real deal comedian. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's why whenever I always tell people coming here it's never the easiest thing when you come here from a new spot, and making friends is even harder. So like I was always like, man, if I can grab any stage, I'm gonna take advantage of it and make sure I do my thing. And I remember when you gave me the spot, the only thing I kept telling myself was, one, it's a black room, so please don't fuck it up. And two, you know how black folks do when they give you a shot. If you don't do well, they may not tell you that you didn't do well, but they will tell you that you didn't do well by not letting you get on stage again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, hold on. Let me intro. I forgot to get. I didn't want to do it where it's typical like credits, but people want to know who you guys are. So Rodney Perry was here first. Your credits. What's the most recent credit? I don't want to run down your resume kind of time.
Medea's Big Happy Family, Jonathan Family Vacation, and I will be in the upcoming film Coming to America 2.
A small film with a couple of new actors. You so low key with it, dude.
I'm not sure if I'm in it, so that's why I'll put too much on it. You ain't in it till you see yourself on screen.
Right. That's right.
I'm like the humility.
Everybody know that. Everybody like, yeah, I'm in it, but I was on set. I got pictures.
I'm in it, but that's why didn't nobody say anything. That's why nobody say anything when you explained it, right? And everybody's like, well, if you don't make it on the phone,
whenever Ty, because Ty's a constant booker of commercials. Whenever he'd book it, he would tell me, and I'd be like, "Oh," and he's like, "Hey, take the celebrate. We're not celebrating shit. We need for it to." I
need 2 residual checks before I celebrate.
He's like, "Jackie, calm down." I'm like, "But another one?" He's like, "Yes, but I have 3 that no one has seen, and I shot them 2 years ago."
Ty Barnett and Rich Pierre Louis are the workingest 2 black humans on the planet.
Yes, and Rich and little tiny righties. Okay, our next guest, you just saw him on America's Got Talent, the season that just ended. I'll leave it at that. Give it up for comedian Ty Barnett. He's the next one on there.
What's up? Yes. What's up? Thank you, by the way. And it's cool. Last time I saw Dean was in Vegas. And last time I saw Finesse, I can't remember if it was at an audition Finesse or if it was at the Improv. It was one of those two. Was last time I saw you.
Don't lie, it was at the Sperm Bank. We ain't got a front.
I was there too.
We ain't got a front, man. Sometimes we all have slow months. You know what I'm saying?
I still got
mine. Ew, Rodney. All right, our next guest, another amazing comic, and the credit that I always love, but I know he has many others. Saturday Night Live for how many seasons? 2 seasons? Dean. I'm sorry, my bad. Celebrity panel.
Real quick, Finesse, wasn't that nice where we were like, well, which of
us?
Yeah. So
you know, two
seasons. So give it up for Dean Edwards, SNL alum.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say, Dean, before I go on to the next one?
Some other stuff cooking that, like Rodney said, when you see it, then you be like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
And our next guest, not our final, still waiting on one more. Is your sitcom on Fox. What is it called again?
It's called Outmatched.
Outmatched. Current sitcom, currently on Fox, called Outmatched. Give it up for the very hilarious Finesse Mitchell. Thank you for saying yes.
I remember when Finesse got Saturday Night Live. He left and he worked the next day. He was on TV the next day. Like the first episode you was in a sketch. I was like, this nigga's amazing.
Rodney, that shit was so funny because they didn't know at the time if they knew who they were gonna hire. They didn't know when they was bringing us to New York. And me and Keenan was on the same red eye. Wow. And we didn't know that we both got it. I didn't know who the other guy was that got it. So when I saw him walking towards the flight, walking towards me in the flight at LAX, he was like, hey man, you got it. Congratulations. And I said, what are you talking about? I'm on my way to Atlanta. He was like, oh, my bad. I said, I'm fucking with you, man. I got it. He was like, oh, don't do it like that.
That's funny.
And we literally was in Lauren's office that next morning, and the show was that week. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay.
So we didn't know what we were doing. Dean knows how it is. Like we were in a meeting, and then next thing we know, it was showtime that Saturday.
And he never said you were hired. You just went up there.
You just in the meeting.
Says you hired.
Yeah.
Did you pitch the bit you did?
Yeah. Well, they wanted me to do it. They said, hey, that audition that you did, we want you to do that on Weekend Update, and then we'll get you acclimated to sketches next week when we have a proper orientation.
Right.
I was like, all right.
I was going through the list of you guys because the topic is married dudes. I think how long have you been married, Dean? I want to give you the
25 years.
We've been together 25, married 17. So
Rodney been married 24 years.
Yeah.
And Dean
I don't even know how long we've been together.
Yeah.
Dean been married 17 years. The next one will be Jay. He's been married a minute when Jay Phillips logs on. So under Jay, Finesse been married, it seemed like 35 minutes, and he had 2 kids in 2 weeks. This nigga expedited his family life. I remember when you didn't have any girlfriend.
So my wife was close to 40, so we said, "Hey, we got to get it in."
Y'all got to hurry up.
So that's what happened.
So you were smashing every ovulation session, every ovulation. You're like, now, right now, I gotta do it now.
She actually only wanted 1 kid, and then wait a minute, let me close the door.
Right.
Hilarious.
Hey, Sylvia. Sylvia, close the door. She actually only wanted 1. But see, I grew up in a 2, it's me and my brother. And everybody who I knew was an only child coming up in Atlanta was a jerk. I mean, every last single one of them.
Right.
A jerk.
Yeah.
A jerk. And Atlanta can have some uppity Negroes in the 80s because Black Atlanta ran the city.
Right.
So we had a lot of affluent Blacks, and so we were getting bused to school like Kamala Harris back in the day. And and I just realized that, hey, even though we're not well off, I'm in school with some people, and everybody who's like a me person, they are only child. So I was like, nah, we can't have my daughter grow up like that. So we spit out another one real quick. And I didn't have her full blessing, but sometimes you got to take matters into your own hand.
Hey, brother, do you?
Yeah, right. I said she can get mad at me later.
So Jay, waiting on Jay Finesse, how long have you been married? When did you get married?
We got married in 2013, Las Vegas. And we have been married for 5 years.
Oh,
who had a big ceremony?
Oh, I did.
You did the whole.
My joint was off the chase, son. Like everybody, we had because you also gotta keep in mind that I was on TV when I was on SNL when we got engaged, and and my wife had been waiting 7 years, so I was like, and also, the show we running during the show, so anytime she's like, babe, I'm like, yeah, whatever. So she only recently alluded to how much money
it was real.
Ooh.
And we had about 200 people and about 20 comics, everybody from Ian Edwards, Will Sylvance, Artie Fuqua, Patrice O'Neal, Keith Robbins. Like we had
everybody at the cellar.
It was, but you know what? Because comics are so cynical, and I'll never forget Ian. Maybe a couple weeks afterwards, I was in LA. And I think that's where I first met Finesse that week, because we had that Fox showcase, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Ian said to me, he was like, yo, you know what? I don't really like weddings, but that was the dopest wedding I ever been to. Because it was just my main focus was I wanted to make sure that we had fun, had a good time, and that everything took place in the same location, because I never understood when people get married at a chapel and then there's this caravan.
Oh my God, I have not been to a wedding in years where the ceremony is fun. They're like, okay, guys, we're going to go upstate now for the reception. I'm like, bitch, you couldn't find one location for all this to go down in?
Exactly.
I'm actually planning a wedding. My 19-year-old is getting married, so I'm planning a wedding right now.
So
you're not talking them out of it?
Coming to America money.
I tried my best.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. So Finesse is 5 years, 17, 24. We have a newlywed on the panel, guys. A relatively newlywed. You just made a year in August. And you think I know your business.
Anyway.
I'm sorry,
yeah.
the title of this is called Married Dude, so I need for you to stop with the shyness.
Right.
But you know, Jackie, and like you guys said, we don't really like the cynicalness of comics is male comics, especially when you hear that. And let's just say when you lived a life, let's just say that when you've had a life in this business.
I was a hoe.
Okay, I'm like, you got about a nice way to be like, I was in these streets, people. Okay.
but here's how I got. This is the reaction I got from every single male friend comic of mine when I told them, I said, yeah, I'm getting married. Every single one of them was like, really? Yeah. Every single one of them. I was like,
right.
I was like, yeah. It's like, okay. And so but I had to own that because I knew, okay, I get it. I know where I came from. I got it. But I tell them, and then they asked me now, I was like, how's married life now? And the cool thing is we've been married for about a year and a half, August, year and a few months. But the cool thing about it was such an organic process that by the time it happened, that it was, and I tell my wife this, I say, it was one of those moments where when I said I do, there was no question in it at all. There was no.
It came out naturally. Yeah.
Yeah. It was one of the most genuine things I've ever said as a man and as an adult. So it wasn't. You don't think it's like sometimes when people ask you this, like,
he said genuine.
Okay. What does that mean?
Hey, because listen, because you know how it is. Sometimes when people feel like, oh man, so you're on lockdown now, right? I didn't feel like that. I felt like, nah, this is the person. This is the person I want to be with. This is one of the most realest things I've ever done. So by the time I did it, it really wasn't this thing of, oh my God, I'm getting married. It was more like, all right, cool. Let's do this. And
question: Do you feel like when you come across people, men or women, who are like, you about to lose all your freedom, you about to be on lockdown? Do you feel like those people are probably with the wrong people? Or the type?
I think so, and I know what that is now. I didn't know what that was before. I know what that is now. When you say, because it's different between being with somebody that you care about and being with somebody that you want to be with. And let me tell you something. If anything, they'll test that. It'll be a quarantine. Gets the fuck out of that. And I say it's a good thing we got married before the quarantine.
Right.
Because y'all know it's the difference between being with somebody and then being with somebody all the time.
Right.
All the time.
Right.
Okay, speaking of the way it is now, I want to know if you're willing to talk about it publicly. What is there a big difference between what you were like as a single dude versus what you're like as a married dude? Because I find a lot of women are like, I'll be happy and I'll make all these changes to be a better whatever when I find the guy. But I find with men who know who they are, there's not much of a difference between who they were single and who they are married. They're the same dude. So
right.
Well, you know what, Jackie?
What?
You know what? You're also in fairness to all other men, you're dealing with comedians who found themselves years ago because of what we do. Everybody from Rodney to Finesse, Ty, Jay, when he comes on, even yourself, you're pretty much self-assured and comfortable in your own skin, right? And so we've all found our happiness, you know,
and it's not in a person, it's in this
exactly,
job.
Right.
So
I'm cheating on comedy with my wife.
Absolutely. I was just
That's
absolutely.
deep.
yeah,
My wife is a side chick.
right. And understands it.
Every romantic interest I've had, when I decide I want to be with him, I'm like, look, I love you, but I will see you after these 2 shows are done.
Right.
I think as comics, as much as we travel and as many people as we meet and whatever our vices are, you know, you find somebody who fits that person as close as possible.
Mm-hmm.
If you try to show a fake person to the person you're about to marry, then it's going to end really quickly. But if you're an alcoholic, if you're a weed head, if you can pretty much do anything but say, I have multiple chicks on the side, and that person that you fall in love with will love and should compliment that person.
Right.
And most women who love you will try to attack your vices as a man, because that's just what women do. Oh, you're drinking a lot. Do you realize you drink like every day?
How dare you?
Do you realize that? How many drinks do you have in the club? And this is all stuff that they kind of know because they saw it for years.
Right.
It's something about being married where all of a sudden, well, I'm just looking out for your health. and they switch it, and then we're thinking, yeah, somebody looking out for my health.
Yeah.
And then we just start lying about how many drinks we have.
Yeah.
But I would say for comics, in order for it to work, we got to realize we are Drake. We are, you know, who's the top person? Because
right now in the public eye,
Drake is good.
Yeah,
Drake. We are the Drake of our industry. You know, no matter how many people we're performing out in front of, we've been doing that shit for 20 plus years.
Right.
So nobody can tell us how to be us and how to make money, and you can show us better ways to get money, but you're not going to try to shake us and make us a different person. If you're like, I just got married and I'm about to get saved, you just did a totally 180 with your life. And I don't think that's gonna work out.
What were you like as a single dude, Finesse? Or were you like
a hoe?
Yeah, straight up?
Oh man, I mean, I was a
he was joking? You thought he was joking?
No, because we know that.
But Finesse is handsome, you know. Like I got a regular face.
No, you're all.
Of everybody on the panel, Finesse looked like he had to work the least hardest.
That is a fact. That is a fact.
Listen, Jackie,
you're all beautiful.
Jackie, let me tell you something about male comedians, and you just have to suck on stage in order to not get chicks. But when you do 6 shows and you have at least 250 to 310 to 325 every show, out of those 6 shows, Jackie, you're gonna do a meet and greet, and out of that meet and greet,
you don't have to do but 1%.
It's gonna be 10 people that you would possibly mess with. You're gonna like be taking pictures, but your head gonna be on a swivel. It's gonna be 10 people out of that 250 to 300 that you could possibly mess with. Now, here's the most important thing out of that 10. It's gonna be 4 who would mess with you that night and just say, yeah. Now, maybe she's single, maybe she's whatever, but it's gonna
maybe she's 4. A wildebeest.
Yeah, maybe she's a wildebeest, but it's gonna be 4 consensual adults who are like, yes, this can go down if you give me the wink, the nod. I will sit out here at this bar. I will wait till your next show. I will wait till everybody leave, and it's gonna go down. Now, Jackie, that's 4 per show. So you did 6 shows. Now, say you in Cleveland. That means every time you go to Cleveland, you got at least a good 6 or 7 that you can mess with.
You telling every road dog's business.
He is giving you the mathematics of Hold'em.
You are telling some of these guys business.
You want to know why, Jackie? Because I'm saved now. Free me from that lifestyle. Finesse, so I don't mind telling on these young cats.
He's been delivering.
I know male comics who they have a condo and they pretend they live or frequently visit that city and state because they have women in that city and state. Yeah. And she's like, well, when he come back in town, we're going to spend the time. I'm like, bitch, you are number 11.
But I say all that to say this, though, Jackie.
What?
It's not about looks. It's about, are you charismatic? Are you charming? Did you show me a good time for that hour that I spent my $20 or $60 to come hang out with you this weekend? And if you are, they don't care how you look because they already saw the flyer.
Damn,
you know what I mean? They know what they get.
Finesse, you gave us a lot in what? You've been here 5 minutes. You told everybody's business.
Look, he also didn't tell the other side of how nasty those comedy condos actually are.
Oh my God!
Wait. Let me respect our next guest who came a little late. Is it today, Jay? Is today your birthday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Jay Field.
Okay, I need for you to contain your enthusiasm. I want to give me a recent credit so I can just let the world know. A current credit.
I don't know.
D.L. Hughley's radio show, aren't you part of that?
Yeah. So D.L. Hughley show, radio show, we on Tuesdays every day, and like 70 markets.
Since you're on the radio, you should know to turn your monitor down.
You still have a Wolfman Jack mic? I'm old, people. Y'all heard that reference? Wolfman Jack.
I'm trying to do 1,000 years old. And I'm older for knowing who he is.
Look, we all the same age, around about. Okay, today is Jay's birthday. He's also
Happy
part
birthday,
of the radio show.
Birthday, bro.
And Jay, how long have you been married?
23 years.
Oh, so it's Rodney, Jay, Dean, Finesse, and Ty. You almost won. You've been married for a long time. You've been married. Jay is a lot of y'all are very low key, but Jay is one of these guys that when the holidays come up, he posts pictures on social media. You're like, I didn't know you had 5 children.
They got a bunch of kids like me.
Yeah, but you show them throughout the year. Some guys, you don't know they got all these kids until it's Thanksgiving.
It's a lot of comedians that are married that you don't know about.
Yes, that too.
Yeah.
Okay, Jay, what kind of guy were you when you were single? If you remember, that was a long ass time ago.
Man, that was a long time ago.
You had the cornrows.
No, the cornrows. I was married with the cornrows, bro. I was bald when I was single, so it's kind of serendipity. I'm back where I was at. It was by choice then. This time, it's by better hands. No, man, it was. I kind of grew up in comedy. You know what I'm saying? I grew up married, and the majority of my success in comedy, we started through, not open mics, but like the first big shows and all that shit. So
okay. So Finesse said he was a hoe. Were you in his, in a hoe, or were you a regular single dude that's living your life?
I was social, Jackie.
You said hoe. I didn't put hoe in your mouth.
I know, but now that I'm sober,
you didn't put hoe in the mouth, but she did.
I was very social. I was friendly.
Okay,
that's a good way to put it.
Exuberant.
There you go.
You're also a liar. I can tell. He's good at it. Okay.
Hey, when you've been married 2 decades, you can't even begin to have that conversation.
Okay.
Like, I'm not going to even entertain that because I can't lie 2 decades back.
Okay, well, let me get to you. I still want to ask Dean and Ty, what kind of single dude were you, Rodney? Were you out there having a good time, or were you conservative with it?
No. I was in them streets, man. I was in the Navy my young years, right. Prior to being married. So we was wilding out. So what would have been my college years, I was in the Navy with money and a car. So me and Harry, who worked at Kev, we were stationed in New Orleans. And so we had the run of all the colleges, Tulane, SUNO, Dillard, Xavier, and we would hit all the campuses, and we was a world-class wrecking crew.
Okay, so that's Rodney's way of saying I was in these streets.
That's a lot of hoeing. That's a lot of hoeing.
I was about to say a lot of hoeing. Okay, Ty, what kind of single dude were you?
Oh well, yeah.
That's last year.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
No, you know what? You know what? Actually, and I tell people when I started comedy, it was probably more that because I started in Seattle, and at the time, I was working I had a day job, so the only kind of accolades I could get was some pussy. That's really the only thing I could get. There was like no, I couldn't make no money at it at the time. I was just really, and that's really all we did. Like we would get on stage, and all we did was who gonna give ourselves the best chance to get laid tonight. That's all we cared about. And you know what I'm saying? So it still was about the jokes, but after we'd be telling the jokes at the show, and we would be seeing in the audience who we had the best shot with as we was performing.
Wow.
So it was one of those things that, and I think as time went on, and then when I started traveling, then that was a whole nother thing. Like you said, you go to another city, you ain't never been there before, they digging you ain't never got that kind of adoration before and all that. So I think for me, by the time I got into maybe my late 30s and stuff like that, it was kind of like it was not boring, but it was more so like I got tired of all the extra shit you had to do to mess around. And so as it went on, even though I still had opportunities, I'm like, I don't want to have to get up, get dressed, get over here, do all of this shit. Then I got to clean up after this.
You mean you learned that jerking off is way easier? And
oh my God. Let me tell you, when I there used to be times where I would be like, all right, hold on. Let me do this real quick and then think it through after. Yeah. And then once
if you do that, she ain't coming.
Oh, that's it.
That's it.
That would be like, okay,
Rodney.
cool, we good. So no, I think I was one of those people. I definitely had my fun, but once I started taking comedy more seriously, I had to kind of dial that back because it became too much of a distraction.
A lot of energy, yeah.
To the work. So I still would go out and have fun, but I kind of dialed that back, and it just became this thing of if it happened, it happened, as opposed to seeking it out where it was before.
Yeah. Okay, Dean, what kind of single dude were you?
I've been married for so long, man.
You weren't married your whole life, goddamn.
I'm just playing. No, we were all out in the streets, similar to Rodney. I was in college and in the Army at the same time, so yeah, I was out there. You
guys look so devilish. I was out there.
Not only was he out there, but it was cool to be dark skinned.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
You know what? Michael Jordan and Wesley Snipes gave us like look, finesse disappeared, but in the 80s it was rough. It was rough on us in the 80s. But once New Jack City and the Bulls started winning,
nigga, how old are you? I wasn't fucking in the 80s like that, nigga.
Late 80s.
Late
80s.
No, I was in high school in the 80s. God damn.
Yeah, I graduated high school in 90. Goddamn, we talking about the 80s? Nigga, I had bitches in the 6th grade.
We was grown in the 90s. Yeah. Comedy was going.
No, in the 90s, we all figured out. We figured it out in the 90s. We're like, oh, this is
now I'll say this, Jackie. I think marriage helped me be a better comedian because while some of my peers was like Ty, I was kind of able to focus because I wasn't in the streets. You know what I'm saying? I had people that I was taking care of that wasn't me.
Yeah.
I had what it gave me is extra practice because I felt like I was at the club just as much, if not more, than the single dudes because I knew what the value of getting out the fucking house for a few hours a night it was. You know what I'm saying? It's fucking valuable, nigga. I need to get out and get that's my therapy every day. So every day I get to go out and be like, yo, I'm on stage tonight and not be lying and really be honing my craft, but really need to get the F out the fucking house.
Finesse has a lighting man over there because ain't no way he did that by himself. That's amazing.
Hold on. Finesse got wardrobe changes. He just changed.
He's backlit himself. He's like,
you're going on for 10 minutes and he came back to Fox Studio lighting. What the fuck is that?
What happened was I looked and I saw my computer was dying. I said, oh, I need the computer cord. I need some light. Go in the house and the kids see me, they're not gonna let me do this.
It's over. It's over.
Right.
Here's the thing, and I did a part 1 Married Dudes last week, and the most common compliment question where everyone loved when I asked the guys, what was it about your woman now that made you be like, I'm done. This is the one. I'm gonna start with Rodney. What was it about your wife that made you be like, I'm gonna risk it on this one?
This gonna sound crazy.
No, it won't.
I wasn't googly eyed in love. We had went somewhere, and she kind of stood up for me on some level, and I just said to myself, like, this lady got my back, like, and I really had never had that. I'd never had no other woman that I looked at beyond sexually that really had my back, and I saw that in my wife, and we I tell this story on stage now, but we would go play spades over a friend of my house.
That's cool.
And,
very cool.
And we had such chemistry on this spade game. That day, I was like, I'm gonna marry this chick, because ain't no way she had cheated, right?
Oh,
that the Wi-Fi went out. She ain't gonna let you get away with letting her know that she cheated.
Okay, turn your
Wi-Fi.
You shut everything down, just like, stop the story.
She done turned the power off on me before.
So she has your back.
You jiggle that cord like y'all playing Madden.
You know what I always tell women, myself included, but it's worked for me in terms of this male friends. I tell girls, stop being a girl and just be a person. Like, hang out with a dude.
Word.
You'd be surprised how men fall in love when you just chill and hang out and take the pressure off of, I'm a girl, you're a boy, are we going to do this? And when
that's impossible. That's disillusion, Jackie. No, women don't do that.
No. They. But I'm saying I have had more fun with men that I have hung out with than I have with the whole, I'm going on a date and we need to figure out where this. I've had more fun where I'm like, we had fun. You want to hang out again? And when the pressure is what makes it hard to connect. But if you hang out, you're like, she's cool. I want to see her again. Because men don't get turned on by romance. They get turned on by, can I hang out with this girl? If I can't, then we need candles, music, sexy stuff. Y'all be like, this bitch, I need to be around her and not
need personality. We want personality. We want somebody that, like, not only laughs at our jokes but makes us laugh.
Exactly. So what about your lady, Dean, that made you be like, I
told my wife 6 months in, I said, I'm gonna probably marry you eventually, and she won.
Almost had me. You almost had me, Dean. Eventually.
No, seriously, but no, it was similar to what Rodney said. You find somebody, you, as an entertainer, you're not gonna find a lot of people that are gonna ride with you when you say, here's my dream, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be broke for a bunch of years, and I dealt with some people prior to that when they found out, they were like, oh, ugh. And my wife, she never doubted.
Oh, she didn't.
She never doubted. She was like, okay. And even, when I was like full on and quit like my day job, she was, going to grad school at Howard and working 2 jobs. And if I needed help with the rent or whatever bills, she had me. So it was when it was time, when I started making some decent money, even before SNL happened, like hitting your first knacker where you book just a grip of shows,
Right.
And
that's a big deal.
You're like, yo, I booked 80 colleges. Now we G'ing, you know what I mean? And let me pay some of your bills, and it was a wonderful feeling.
That'll get me, yeah.
Yeah, and you built together. We built together, and over time you build with somebody. You looking like, yeah, this is the one, and it felt good to be able to say, nah, it's time. And I remember having time.
So what's the moment? Like Rodney had the spades game, so he had a light go on, like, she cool, I'm gonna hang out. What was there a moment for you that made you be like, she cool, Is there?
No, there wasn't a moment. It was just a accumulated events, where it was, she knew my family. She knew the family. My Dukes and Pops dug her, which is important. If like, I always see these movies and situations where somebody's mother-in-law doesn't get along with the wife. I'm like, that's got to be tragic.
I know. Yeah.
Right.
No, because my wife and mom actually talk to each other, where my wife is like, oh, did you speak to your mother? I'm like, nah, and I'm a call, and she's like, no, I spoke to her. I'm like, okay, but that's what you want. You want somebody that vibes out. And so I just, it was time.
Yeah. Jay, what was it about your wife that made you be like, I'm gonna ride this one out and see what's going on?
Well, I guess my part was weird. Like I met my wife when I was on stage, and so we hung out the first night that I met. We I just walked out talking, and I ended up telling her in the middle of talking shit that I was going to marry her one day. The day that I met her, I don't know how that worked out, but
this happens a lot, and I'm annoyed by this. But go ahead.
Yeah, I told her that day. I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna marry you one day." That's, and then we laughed about it, and then it just got to the point where it's like we built, we built up for a while. Like they said before, the entertainment business obviously didn't scare her because that's, I was pretty new in the game, but I was doing okay. I was funny. So, but I wasn't popular. So, she watched me, raise my, status up in the DC area and the Baltimore area. And then I was just like, yo, I don't want nobody else to bang you. That's it. So,
I love that. I don't want nobody else in you.
Nobody else can bang you. That's it. Just me and you.
That's it in a nutshell.
That was it.
You can stop. Beautiful. You got to ask no more questions.
That's pretty much it.
You agree.
Okay, Finesse, what about your wife that made you be like, I'm a stop. I'm done.
It was weird. I was engaged at the time when I met my wife.
Oh, drama. Okay, here we go. No, I'm joking.
To someone else?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's how that usually works when they say that.
Miami.
Do tell.
I had retreated to Miami after my SNL departure and just set up shop and just trying to do Hollywood from Miami, and met a girl and got engaged. But then I booked this movie, Who's Your Caddy? And I was flying back out to LA to do promo, and I met my wife then. She was working with Tracy Edmonds, and Tracy Edmonds had produced the movie Who's Your Caddy? And so when I met her, you know how you just see somebody and you're like, but I couldn't do nothing because I knew my life was in Miami.
Oh yeah, I know that feeling.
And the vice president of Tracy's company had said, hey, I think Idris likes you. And I said, no way. And he was like, I think she about to come in here because she knows you're in the building. And I'm like, for real? And there was a knock at the door, and she came in with a manila folder talking about she needed some signatures, but he could do it later. And he was like, I'll do it now. She was like, nope, don't open it. And then he was like, I'll do it now. She's like, nope. And then she was like, hi, Finesse. And that's when I found out there wasn't nothing in the folder. She just wanted to come in the room.
Hilarious.
She didn't even fake it with a fake document. Nothing.
Play it. Hit you with the trunk.
Meeting like, hey guys.
Yo, she Axel Foley'd you, son.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. When he told me that, it was Big Boy, and it was some people and it was like a couple of guys because we were about to do a junket. And when she came in the room and said, hey, Finesse, I didn't know what to say. I said, I'm engaged. And the whole room said, oh!
Oh my God.
I was like, I'm engaged. So fast forward to my first marriage not working out, and I'm sitting in Miami miserable. And then I had remembered, you know how sometimes fellas
wait. You didn't marry the fiance.
Yes, I did. Yes,
I didn't understand.
You do with a fiance, Jackie. That's
Shut up, Dean. I thought he left his fiance and married his wife. He was engaged, got married.
I did that movie. I took my butt back to Miami and I got married, and I tried to live for happily ever after, and it just didn't work out. It just wasn't enough.
Jackie wanted the Hollywood ending where at the altar.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
The door swings open.
I'm the one you want. Yeah.
Women are always looking for that.
She wanted the different world. Kadeem Hardison.
Right.
Wasn't no Really, I love
her. Every girl wants that. All y'all kiss my ass. But go ahead, Ness.
And so I'm sitting there in Miami, and I don't have anybody, and I had this crib, but I felt like I was missing out. And sometimes I was about to say to the fellas, you know how you just be thinking, like you be scrolling your phone, you're like, who likes me? Who did I? You know how you got to stop calling these people. So you're like, who?
Yes, me, girls too. Me too.
So this was the freaking strangest thing ever, and I will swear by this. My wife left me a cat that I didn't want. The cat just showed up at the house one day. We took the cat in.
What?
But, so I'm there in the house with this cat. The cat jumps on the keyboard when I'm on Facebook. I promise you, Idris DeBarge's profile pops up on the damn.
So is the cat Jesus? Is that what he doing?
Ain't nothing but the Lord.
That's what he doing though?
Hold on, stop right there. Your wife is a DeBarge?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you been?
Yeah, I knew that.
We all know that.
I had no idea.
Got you.
So
that's the light skinned lineage. That's you.
I know, right? I know.
Ain't no light skinned people.
And so, man, I was like, holy crap. And I literally sent her a message and I just, inboxed her, hey, how you doing? And she said, cool. And I was literally on a flight like the next day, just trying to, get my bearings back out in LA. I was, sleeping on my friend's, couch. Then I found a guest house and I literally text her and hit her up for every day, like for 30 days. And this is the end of the story. 30 days I text her, listen, Jackie, she never replied.
Ooh, she got some strength I don't have.
Never replied. And so
was she mad? Why didn't she reply?
The key is to ignore. See how the key is to ignore.
I hit her up on the initial, hey, I'm coming out there. Like, oh, that's nice. That's cool. Oh my God, da. But she also remembered me saying, I'm engaged. You know what I mean? So she remembered all that.
Okay.
So, my boy came up to me and said, bro, do you know what stalking is, Finesse? And I was like, no. I'm thinking
light-skinned dudes don't know what stalking is.
Stop.
That ain't stalking, that's persistence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They like that from us.
Jackie, on the 30th day, I said to myself, I give up. She's not returning any of these good morning texts.
And we love a good morning text.
Yeah. And so I know that play. I know that play in the playbook. She didn't
respond. We love good morning text.
And on that 30th day, it was around 1:00 in the afternoon. She sent me a text that said, what happened to my good morning text?
Ooh.
Wow. That was the hook.
She might as well have FedEx you her panties, Finesse. That was a clear.
My good morning text. She met me at the Comedy Union on Pico. We all know that place.
Yep.
And
shout out to Ends.
And we started talking. And I said, why you put me through that? She was like, you put me through 2 years.
Wait, why was it 2 years? You were married for 2 years? Yeah. She got game. She got game like you do. I like her.
That's a beautiful story. I'm about to cry.
I'm about to say, you the one that got in this story.
Right.
The bad bitch
took your trouble.
Okay.
The only thing that made that story better was if you said that when she sent the text saying what happened to my good morning, if the cat answered that.
Right. Cat brought me my phone.
Right.
When I went home and we all go home to mama if we're fortunate enough, and she was like, baby, you're gonna bounce back from that. And I said, yeah, I think I have somebody in mind, and I showed her my wife's picture at the time that I didn't know who was gonna be my wife. And she's like, who was that? I said, it was this girl I met when I did this movie, and we stopped talking. And the reason I think God blessed this whole thing is because that's the one time I wasn't a hoe. That's the one time I wasn't trying to have my cake and eat it too. And she said, you know what I loved about you most? Some dudes say I'm engaged or I'm married, but then they hit you up and they want to take you out and da. And I literally did not hear from your ass. And so that worked out in my favor because apparently I'm trustworthy.
Who knew?
Yeah, that's how you do that. Shit, I ain't know that.
Okay.
If I'd have known that, I'd go back 23 years and go through the bullshit first.
I want to mom to say, is she at the barge?
Right.
I love that story, and all I hear in that story is bitches do not text them back. That's all I got from that. Is like, no matter how cute, no matter how nice, no matter how alluring.
All men like a little chase, though. All men.
Yes.
A little chase.
A little bit.
You saw my date
that little.
Wait. I want to go back to that. Ty, what was it about your wife that made you be like, I'm gonna do this?
it really was, and I can't simplify it more to say it was just organic. You know, when I found myself wanting to do everything or most things with her, or tell her about it first, or share these things with her, and and you know, because sometimes like I went through this phase where I didn't want to be with anybody, like nobody, like it wasn't even on at this point. It wasn't even on some I just want to be hoeing around thing. It just I wanted nothing with anyone. I just want to be by myself. And when she came along, I actually told her that. I said, I don't want no relationship, nothing. We can hang out and all that stuff. It ain't got to even be physical. I just don't want anything serious because I'd already been through something. So time goes on and all this stuff. We find ourselves liking the same kind of music. You know, we would, you know, same kind of vibes and stuff. So we would go to these concerts and different things like that. So it went from this thing of, you know how it is sometimes when you feel like, oh man, that's right, I forgot I gotta go do this thing. Ah man, it went from that to, man, I can't wait to go do these things. And so when I found myself there is when I was like, wow, okay, this is the person that I kind of, you know, I wake up and I think about this person. And for me, by the time I realized this is who I wanted to be with, it wasn't even about getting married at the point, to be honest with you. It wasn't like we needed to get married because I didn't need to do that. But I knew when you find somebody that you say, you know what, I don't really feel like being with anybody else. I don't see anybody else
like Jay.
that makes it, I don't see anybody else that makes me feel the way you make me feel, even about regular shit. I'm not talking about, it doesn't even have to be anything big. We just sitting there watching TV and it feels like where I'm supposed to be. It feels like what I'm supposed to be doing.
The comfort level when you're with someone, that means a lot.
Exactly. So by the time when I realized that, I think one day I woke up and I was kind of watching TV and I said, I don't want nobody else. I don't want nobody else. I don't even feel like being out there looking for anybody else because everything that she has is something that I was looking for. Simple life. We can go to concerts. We can be at home. We can go to movies. We can go on hikes. All of these things just seem like they were just naturally there and organic. And I'll tell you this real quick. Her friends would put a lot of pressure on her over, you know, the time we were dating, and they would drop little hints. And then, you know, she would, I could tell it was bugging her that we hadn't gotten married right away. But I always would tell her, I said, listen, I already been down that road before where I did something because somebody else wanted me to do it, or because somebody else thought it was the time to do it. And I said, please don't listen to your girlfriends. If you listen to your girlfriends and do something because they want you to do it, believe me, it will not be the right thing to do. And she was patient, and I appreciate that. And that's why by the time I proposed to her, she didn't even know. I'd see if I can tell you this story real quick of how this happened. Mm-hmm. So it was on our dating anniversary. And I guess I had told her before, I said, I'm never going to propose on a special occasion. I'm never going to do that. So
you letting her know right now. Do not.
Don't look for it.
It's never going to be. Don't even expect it.
If we go to Paris, nothing is going to happen.
It's not going to be anything like that. So I decided, but I said, you know what? I'm gonna ask her on our dating anniversary. So I went and got the ring, and so I was trying to set this whole thing up to be really just kind of, you know, on some movie shit. I don't really do movie shit, but I was like, I'm gonna try to do some movie shit tonight. So I said, okay, I'm gonna take her to the first place I took her to the movies to, which is the ArcLight on Hollywood. So I said, so she had already planned for us to have the day off because we were just gonna go celebrate our dating anniversary. But I already had the ring and everything like that. I
am not looking for a ring in the movie theater at all.
No. So, I said, so I tell you what, I got because she said, well, we just spend the day tomorrow because I'm going to be off. And I said, then I won't have time to go pick up the ring. I can't really do that. So I had to lie. I say, well, you know, I got an audition tomorrow.
Great way to start a relationship.
I know.
I
know. So I said, I got an audition tomorrow, but we can hang out after the audition. Let me go to the audition. And she was like, well, wait a minute. Then why am I taking the day off work? I said, no. You still can take the day off, but just let me go do the audition. And for some reason, she's being mad persistent about not letting me do this thing. And she's just like, well, then we'll just go out when I get back. I said, baby, listen, Just you don't have to go to work, but if you go to work, just go for half of the day. It's fine. And so I'm still trying to plan all of this
You're
shit
like,
out.
let me finish this plan.
Let me do this, right? And so we got into this argument because I said, I want to go to the movies, and Captain Marvel would come out. And I said, let's go see Captain Marvel. And I kid you not, she's like, who the fuck is Captain Marvel? And so,
same thing.
Who the fuck is Captain?
I said, oh, it's a chick.
But it was a Marvel movie, and I know she liked Thor and all those movies. So I was like, oh, okay, hey, I'm just trying to talk the movie up, but it's not even really about the movie. It's about where we're going to see the movie and all this stuff. So we get into this argument, and I'm not bullshitting. We get into this argument. I go sit on the balcony, and I'm sitting on the balcony, and I'm like, man, fuck this. I'm not doing this thing. I'm not doing this tomorrow. I'm not doing this. But then I said, if I don't do it, I gotta wait a whole another year you don't
have to wait another year. What's wrong with you?
Nah, because it was going to be the surprise of doing it on the day and anniversary.
You are overthinking. But go ahead.
So here's the thing. So I say, so we go to bed, wake up the next day. I get up. We still kind of angry with each other. It's fine, but I go get the ring, which is weird. I'm like, how the fuck am I angry right now? And I'm still gonna go pick up, which is also how I knew I loved it, because I'm like, I'm pissed off, but I'm still gonna go pick up this fucking ring. So I go get the ring. I come back. We plan everything out. We go out to this jazz club. I got the ring in my pocket, all of this stuff. And so as the night is ending, I pull off the freeway, and she's tired. She's tired. It's cold outside. She don't even really want to be out still. So I pull off, and she's like, where are we going? I said, oh, we're just gonna go over here to this little night spot. She looked at me like, since when the fuck you want to go out at night? Late. Since when you want to do all this? I was like, no, I just want to go and kind of see what's going on in Hollywood. And she's kind of looking at me like, okay, fine, whatever, it's cool. So we pull up to the arc light in the exact spot where we were on our first date. And she still ain't caught on to this, which I'm like, okay, it's fine. It's still gonna be a surprise. So I pull up, and I pull in the red zone, and she's like, why are you parking here? And I'm like, I just want to get out the car to kind of look and see what's in this club. I'm in my head. I'm like, this is why I don't do this shit.
Exactly why you don't do this shit.
Exactly why.
So we get out the car, and I say, why don't you come in with me for a second? She's like, can I just wait here? I'm like, baby, please, just come with me for a second to go see what it's like in this club.
I'd be annoyed also. All exactly. This shit.
So then we get out of the car.
I'm about to break up with your ass right now.
Okay, I know what the fuck. What's wrong with you?
No, on this trip.
But here's the thing. So we get out the car, and right before we go in, I turn to her and I say, hey, listen, I just want you to know, I know we was arguing, but listen, I just want you to know how much you mean to me and how much all of this time is meant to me, period. And our journey this far, and I give it this whole speech, and she's just like, yeah, mm-hmm. right, got it, special times, got it. And so I was like, and she's like, okay, cool. And so then I pull the thing out, I get on my knee, and she's like, what? And I was like, and so people in
perfect.
People in the restaurant or the everybody stopped and turned to see what the hell was going on outside. And she's looking, she's like, oh my God. And she starts tearing up. And I said, will you marry me? And, tears are flowing. She's like, oh my God, I can't see it. Is it beautiful? Because she was, And so
did you record it?
No. But she said, so when she said yes, but here's the crazy thing. Once she said yes, and I said, okay, we can go home now. She's like, fuck that. Let's go out somewhere.
Because you know what?
Now you want to go out.
Commitment gives us energy. You're like, you're gonna buy the pussy finally. Let's go dancing. Who wants to go dancing? Okay.
So that's how it happened.
I know some of you gotta go.
Work he had to go through though, wasn't it?
Hey, bro. Yeah. I kid you not. I was sitting there like, this is why I don't do movie shit.
Okay, hold up. Before Rodney gotta go, and before he goes, Finesse said real quick, men like a little bit of chase. And I want to go back to that. Rodney, do you agree? Do men like a little bit? Do you want to be in charge of going to get her? Or do you like a woman that's like, look, I like you, what's up?
No, don't do that. We're hunters by nature. I mean, of course, there are some dudes that want to be hunted, but in general, most men are hunters, and women kind of are the prey, and because of that, it's kind of counterproductive to really attack a guy. He gonna take whatever you give him, but you may or may not be the girl for him.
He's not gonna go for more if you give it to him that quick. All right.
I mean, this is a generality though. Some dudes, are that guy too. So we're all different.
Because all the girls that watch, the women, they always want to know, like, so what does it take? Should I go for the guy that I like? Because Yamanika Saunders, shout out to her, she had a post where like a lot of game playing, and she's like, do I tell him I like him? Do I wait? Do I call him? So you can go. I don't want to hold you. I know you have a hard out. You're very Hollywood. I can't stand. And one day I had to say it. I'm like, oh shit, it's all of us. I hate the term, hey, I have a hard out at 3.
Hard out of 10.
So if you have to
I love you, Jackie Fabulous.
I love you very much. Go kill him. I know Jay also has to go.
Yeah, right.
Jay, what is your opinion? Do you the whole men like to be the chase? What do you believe about that?
I mean, we enjoy the chase.
You do?
Yeah, no, but let me understand this.
Yes.
We enjoy the chase, but we like chasing the damsel. Be available. Don't be fucking Jackie Joyner. You know what I'm saying? Don't show me how fast you are. Goddamn it, just enjoy the chase. Don't you understand what I'm saying? So it's I'm confused. Don't understand. All right. So we like to do things to get you, but you guys can also at the same time make even that a little bit more hard. Just like how difficult it was for Ty to get through that evening. Like that was tough. You know what I'm saying? And he had to stick in there and fucking wait. She knew what the fuck was going on.
No, she didn't.
She may not have known that, but she knew that he was trying to do something cool. He was in his pursuance. He was hunting. He was hunting, doing the shit that we do to try to please you. No matter what all of that shit was, he was trying to please. And there was a time in there that what we enjoy is doing the shit that he set up. You see how happy he was telling that story, but the whole nemesis of the story was all of the bullshit that she was doing to stay in the way. Right. So we don't mind the chase, just don't do the bullshit to stay in the way. And then
get out your own way.
That's it.
But we don't know it's bullshit though.
What do you mean?
Do you?
Somebody says, I want to take you out tonight. And then you say, really? Where are we going? And be like, look, don't worry about it. I'm going to take you somewhere nice. Nah, okay. I want to know where I'm going. Like, stop that shit. Just go ahead and accept this dope dinner that I'm setting up for you.
That is a trigger word, Dean. When we hear submit, those of us that want to be strong all the time, we're like, I'm not going to submit, because if we're with you and we know you don't like to go out after 10 o'clock, all of a sudden you want to go out. We're like, what happened? You don't like going out late at night. And we don't realize that we're blocking our own blessing because we're just trying to be who we are. But I get it.
Well, how about this? I just looked up
wait.
synonyms for the word submit. How about budge, capitulate, concede? There are other ways, because we're not trying to usurp your independence. We're just attempting to get you to like that. We're going to use Ty's story as an example.
Wait, pause. Jay, I love you if you have to go.
Thank you. Love you back.
Have a wonderful birthday.
Happy birthday, Jay.
I will see you soon.
Thank your wife for letting us have you for an hour.
I'm ready to
they in the driveway with the car running.
I know it's his birthday.
Jay, happy birthday, my love.
All right.
Hi, baby. Okay, Dean, go ahead.
No, so I was saying, using Ty's story as the prime example here, every dude on this screen and yourself, we all got frustrated listening to that story. Only because you're rooting for him. And he just said, he started the story by saying, I don't do Hollywood. I don't do that whole here, let's go back to where we first met and all that. So he was already going against his norm. And he was doing that because he cared enough for her. And so, you're like, all right, well, meet me in the middle. Yeah. If I am saying, you know what, we'll just work half the day. well, why are we doing that? Oh,
right.
Like,
right.
And I think that happens in relationships where a guy. I just saw a video yesterday that's circulating probably on Instagram. There was this brother. Y'all might have seen it. His brother, his girl was cooking dinner, asked him to help cook dinner, and she asked him to wash
Oh
the
yeah,
chicken.
I felt sad for him. Like she's so mean.
Now here's what's funny.
Yeah.
She asked him to wash the chicken, and when he had it soaking in in dish detergent, right?
Oh,
right.
A whole chicken. Yeah.
And he was recording it like he was doing it live, showing people I'm being romantic with my baby, and then it went way left and backfired because she's like, "What are you doing? You always doing it? Why are you?" And when she like that, I said, "See, this is the problem." Now, yes, he was wrong. I seen people say, "Well, he's dumb." I said, "Was he dumb or was he just ignorant because he's never watched chicken?"
He's trying.
He never. And men want we want credit for putting forth the effort. Right. That's what most men were like. Listen, I am attempting to do something.
Yeah.
Because I want to please you in some sort of way, and he ain't never cooking for her again.
Nope.
He ain't never. If he becomes a 5-star Michelin chef, he ain't never cooking for her.
Now for her. And just to add to that, Dean, and this is why, like I said, I don't do those types of things, and she knows that, which is why I went the extra mile, which is why I persisted that evening to do it that way, because I was like, listen, you're who I'm going to be with, and I want to show you that when I put my mind to these things, I can do this. Now on the flip side of that, we're not doing all that shit again. It would not be we're not doing all the extra, not that, because again, you saw what I mean. We still can do romantic stuff, but the reason why I wanted that moment to be that moment was because I wanted to show her, listen, I know you like this type of stuff. So let me show you that I can be this type of person for you, and let's enjoy this. But there was a point in that evening where I was just like, man, but it's also, but now also on the flip side of that, here's how I knew that I loved her, and that because as I'm sitting on the balcony trying to figure, as we're still arguing, and in my head, I'm like, all right, well, I could just, I don't know, man. And then I kept telling myself, nah, let's just power through it. Because I used to be one of those people that was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna hold on to this for a long ass time. I'm holding on to this fucking argument for a long ass time. But I said, I can't do that. Let me evolve. And once I did that, and once her feeling the next night was worth all of that. The feeling of,
Okay, finesse. I love what you started all this. Men like a little bit of chase. So elaborate more on that. Like, what do you think girls are doing wrong in terms of, are we too aggressive? Are we going for it? Are we DMing too much?
I definitely know that I've been in the game long enough to know that is a trick setup question.
So, it is not. There's no trick.
That by saying women are doing nothing wrong. Be yourself. Now, let me answer the question.
Slick. Okay.
That's a promo clip right there.
Women, you are perfect as you are. Anyway, go ahead.
There's something about men, Jackie. First of all, that has nothing to do with women, that when they say I'm ready, for no rhyme or reason, they wake up one day and say, I think I'm ready. And they're either with someone or they got to go find that someone. But if they're with someone, that person's going to be a lucky person. I don't care if it's a friction type relationship or it's the best relationship ever, but there's a pretty good chance he's going to try to propose because he feels he's ready. Women can't push that. And when women try to push that, that's when shit goes wrong. Like when Ty was saying, your girlfriend said, yeah, you should have a ring by now. Don't let your girlfriends fuck your relationship up. You know what I mean? When your dude's ready, he will actually say, I'm ready. Because this is what happens, and this is what pisses a lot of women off. And I'll close on this. Men will be dating somebody for 5 years. And
5, 10?
Yeah, we could be dating somebody for forever.
Forever.
Break up. and that next person we date, we proposing within 6 months.
No, you gonna make me cry. Stop it.
Because we figured out, wait a minute, I know what I did wrong. She was the wrong person, or I shouldn't have said this. But whatever it is, you want to start over with that new person, and you're saying, you know what? I know all the answers now, and I think I'm ready. And then that's when we a lot of times propose.
And that's when we get mad because we're like, I fixed this dude, and he gave it to somebody else.
You didn't fix anything. You exposed some things that he had to learn on his own, but he learned it while he was dating you. You know,
right.
and you were never probably, Jackie, going to allow him to be the new him because you knew all the stuff that kept him in the old him.
I have all the animosity from the old him. I can't even see the new him. Yeah.
That's just like a proposal. Even if Ty's like, I'm going to make this special, she's going to like, I don't recognize this dude. I don't. So why are you trying to do this and that? Because he doesn't do it enough. That's what Ty's leaving out.
Yeah.
Leaving out. Oh, this is the one night I'm about to try to do something special.
Well, see now, and this is why, like I said, when I did it, when I say I don't do that type of stuff, I'm talking about we don't do the, hey, you guys, I'm gonna reserve the restaurant. Everyone get out of the restaurant. I'm gonna Boris Kudrow this shit. I don't Boris Kudrow shit.
Right.
But I am a romantic person, and I mean, I tell her I love her more than she tells me that. But as far as those types of things, nah, I wasn't doing those things. So, but I have to reiterate this before I leave.
Yeah.
If to all the women out there, please understand this.
Hit the women. They love this. Yeah.
Please don't let your girlfriends tell you how to run your relationship.
In addition to that, I always say if you get advice from your girlfriends and she ain't had a man since the first Bush president, that is the wrong chick.
Well, because here's what happened here's what almost happened, and luckily, and this is what I give her credit for, because she totally understood it, because I could tell it was something she was wondering. She wanted to always get married and all that stuff, which is fine. But I would always say to her, because her friends, I'm not gonna put her friends' business out there or anything like that, but all her different friends, it was always an issue with their relationships. It was always something. There's an argument, something petty, and all that stuff. And so I told her, so when we did our vows, when we said our I do's, I didn't write anything. And somebody said, well, why didn't you have to write anything?
No,
and I
you know it.
I don't have to. This is everything I'm saying to you is stuff that's already been here for a minute. So I don't have to practice this. I don't have to do any of this other stuff. And when I said it to her in front of everyone, it wasn't this thing of like, oh shit, what am I doing? It was like, thank you guys for joining us on this special moment. And I told her, I said, you got my heart. That's it. There is not going to be, there's no doubt in this person. So, but if I would have done it when her girlfriends wanted it done,
right?
Come on, we're not doing it. So please stop. Don't listen to your girlfriends like that in the sense of timelines, because there's no timeline.
Jackie. Well, that's like we were talking last night, Jackie. I said you can't really put a timeline on something, because whether it's your man, whether it's your career, you could say, well, I'm going to give this 5 years, and God means for it to happen 5 years and 3 days in. That's why I'm saying that's all of us. We submit to it, and you say, what, I'm going to let go and let God.
And when you let go, you get what you want. Finance before we all go.
Yeah, I think women, there's always a way to hint at, or just be straight up blunt and saying, yeah, I wouldn't mind being married, or yeah, I'll like you're that I could, you know what I mean?
Well, what if you have that burning in your gut where you're like, I want to get married? It's hard to ignore the burning.
Well, you got to ignore that, because you'll definitely chase a guy off.
Yeah,
true. I want to get married.
Especially if he doesn't want to. Like you can't. That's like saying, I want to eat steak, and he's like, but I'm vegan. You can't force.
What I was getting ready to say to piggyback off of Ty was that the biggest mistake women make that I don't think a lot of guys do, guys will be in a group and guys will say, you got a good one. When you gonna wife that?
That happens a lot. That happens a lot.
Dude will say, you know what?
You're right.
trying to get my shit together, or you know, and it'd be so authentic because he know he got a good one.
Right.
And he really appreciated his boys recognizing that he got a good one. Because we'll say the opposite if you don't got a good one.
They'll tell you.
We'll just be like, oh, she fine as hell. You know what I mean?
That's it.
That's right.
But what women will do to each other is say, so what is he doing? What are y'all gonna do? What are y'all doing? And then she said, well, you know, girl, I'm trying to do whatever. And you know what a woman will say?
What?
Girl, don't let him waste your time. And
Yep.
they're totally negative.
Nah.
Now that if they just put a negative thought in her head, this guy that I'm in love with, is he wasting my time?
Yeah.
Versus just saying, you know what? He's a good guy. You're very happy around him. So, you know, I'm sure whatever's if it's in God's plans, it'll happen. I think a lot of people need to start, you know, treating other people's relationships like that.
I love that.
Well, but that's that misery. That's that misery loving company.
It's not even misery. It's sometimes your girlfriends are well. I had one girlfriend. Every time I met a new guy, her first question would be, "Is he the one?" And I had to tell her, I'm like, stop asking me that. Right. I'm like, I met him. We having fun. If he's the one, we'll know. But you meet a guy, your friends are like, so is he the soulmate? I'm like, bitch, I just met him. I don't know.
Well, but Jackie, let me ask you, when did you ever, prior to your girlfriend saying that, were you ever all wide-eyed like that, where you would say to your girlfriends, I think he's the one, so that now they're conditioned to?
It would come from whenever you when you meet a new guy that you like, you announce it to your girlfriend, the closest one. And the ones who are always in that romanticized, like, so he's the one, you're gonna get pregnant, and they have this timeline.
Oh,
and because I was married already and I had a man 10 years after he was over, I'm like, now whatever God got. But when I was younger and in that mind frame of like, I need to get married. Why haven't he didn't propose? We've been together 2 years. And that was a horrible part, because when we did get together, it was meant to happen. And too many girls have this whole, you met a new guy, is he the one? And you're like, let me just have fun with this guy.
Right.
And if it's meant to happen, God will get rid of the men who are like not gonna go there at all. If you believe in it.
You want somebody that gives their heart to you, not someone that's forced to surrender it.
Yeah, and I tell women all the time, like, if you think you can make him marry you, the marriage will never last.
No.
If you could talk him into being the one, he's gonna be like, I gave her what she wanted, and that's not what you want. You don't want to ever just be like, all right. I pressured him. I got the ring. I'm like, you're not gonna make it. It's not gonna work. So I appreciate you guys so much. You don't know what the women who watch this, it's like a new birth. They're like, I didn't know men had opinions.
Hilarious.
Who were married and happy.
Jackie, don't use the part I said, well, I was a hoe. Don't put that for promo. That's all right.
Okay. Finesse, that's going to be the tagline and the title of the video when I post it online.
That's it.
I used to be a hoe. Quote unquote.
That sounds like a comedy special.
Okay.
Friendly.
I know you guys got to go. I want to say thanks. Hey, because I don't know when I'm gonna see any of y'all in person again.
Yeah, please bond.
Well, I'm gonna see you, Jackie. You know, when I get on the East Coast there, and probably you too.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring it to the cellar. We're gonna hopefully do sets and stuff.
Dope. I just want to say to the two other brothers here, man, it's great seeing y'all. We don't, and this whole pandemic got everybody in a whole nother space and all that stuff like that. But it's great seeing y'all, and it was great working with you, Dean.
Yeah, man.
Vegas, bro. And like I said, man, blessings to everybody.
Tell your wife, even though that story was annoying, hope she's doing well.
And I think
you didn't know that in Vegas. I didn't tell you that story
side
in Vegas.
Look, if I had known that, I've been looking at her like this.
Like, why are you giving him a heart? He's trying to help fulfill your dreams, girl. Why are you acting like that? So,
because Dean met her and she was being super sweet. Sweet.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, if I would have probably told him that story, he'd been like, oh, okay, I see why you acting all sweet.
Every guy on this panel, guys watching, I have opened for, featured for, and then at some point became a fellow headliner. So these guys mean a lot to me. So thank you guys for watching. Follow them all. I'll post, way too much. And Finesse, Ty, Dean, Rodney, and Jay, I love you guys so much. And
love you too, Jackie. Thanks.
Keep praying, and please, can you please kill this virus? I am tired of being at home.
I know.
Thank you.
Y'all be cool.